Hello, today I'm going to show you how to carve a simulated pumpkin on a desktop computer or mobile phone. You can find the pumpkin carving simulator at xaloez.com, xaloez.com, or you can find it at itch.io under pumpkin carving simulator. So when you open it, you should get a brand new pumpkin like this. You could randomize it to get different pumpkin shapes if you wanted. And there is also pumpkin options if you want to configure them yourself. You could even change the color, so if you wanted it to look like some other vegetable or something. We're just gonna do a generic looking pumpkin. So to begin, we have our carving options here. I'm going to go through them one by one. The most basic one is carve, which just does a sort of square, flat carving. The next one is scoop, which, if you can see the difference, it is more rounded and circular. And then we have flood fill and flood clear, which, if anyone else has used other paint programs, you'll recognize these. You can see it fills in the similar areas, and the depth here will change the tolerance of it. And we can also use this to clear. So if we say cut out a section right here, we could clear all of that like this. And if you see it's limited to clearing here, it doesn't extend out and clear anywhere else. So with these tools, you should be able to carve a whole variety of pumpkins. I'm going to go ahead and just carve a simple little smiley face here. Alright, so here we can see now this is in the middle of the daytime, and it doesn't really show off the pumpkin that well. So if we go to the environment here, you could change the environment as well if you want to a different style of place. But what I'm going to go to is I'm going to go to exposure. I'm going to put it into the darkness. So now you can actually see the light lighting up the inside, and I'm going to turn up the light size and the light strength. And now you can see the inside of the pumpkin getting lit up. It has fully path traced simulated lighting effects of the light bouncing around inside the pumpkin. So it should give you a pretty realistic rendering of what the pumpkin would look like. You can, of course, change some other options of the rendering here, like field of view. If we go to the floor here, it will add in a floor. That'll give you the nice, of course, it wouldn't be realistic if the pumpkin was floating, but you can get some planks or leaves or stone. And you can also import your own custom floor. So if you have PBR textures of like albedo, height, roughness, you can import these and get your own custom floor to render with. But now you can see we have a pretty decent pumpkin rendered. So if we wanted to export this, you could go to render, and samples will change the quality, which will change how noisy the lighting is and how staticky it is. I'm going to do a low sample count of 50 to begin. So if it renders it here, you can see we have an exported rendering. And you can see it's pretty noisy because I did a very low sample count, 50. And you could right click and save this to export your image. The other super useful feature of this for graphic designers is the transparent background. So if we render with a transparent background, and if we open it up, it is the pumpkin with a transparent background. So if you were looking for a pumpkin and you don't want to have to worry about chroma keying or separating the background, this tool can be really great for that. Now the final thing I just want to show you is how to import and export the image on the pumpkin. So you can actually import custom images here to get your own logos or styles onto the pumpkin without having to draw it here. So first, if we go to export pumpkin map, this will show you what the pumpkin map looks like. So if you open this, you can see the black is where it is carved in, and the red is where it is not carved. So now if we go into an image editor of our choice, and we import this, we can add on our own custom design. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add some clouds or maybe a fractal, just something I can quickly render in here. Let's do a Julia fractal. So if you can see, the smiley face is only in a certain region of this image. This image is an equirectangular map. So if we make the fractal too big, it will actually cover all of the pumpkin, the top and bottom. So we're going to try to line it up with the face on the y-axis. Put it beside the face here. And now since we see it needs to be black to represent its pattern, we're going to go to curves. We're going to set it to completely black like that. Alright, and now if we go to save and export our pumpkin map, we can re-import it. I suggest saving as PNG as it's the highest quality. Now if we go back to import it, we go to the back of our pumpkin, you can see that this is our fractal pattern. So if you see, we can actually see some of the, I don't know what you'd call them, tendrils or arches here going out. So this can let you do some very cool patterns on the pumpkin and render them with realistic lighting. I hope this is useful to some people. I had some fun with this during Halloween, and yeah, I think it can be useful any time of year too. As like if you're looking for, I don't know, just sprites or graphics of pumpkins, this can be great for randomly generating images of pumpkins. And if you're a programmer and you're interested about how the code works, you can download the source code. This is completely open source. If all of this path tracing code and everything is explained and commented. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this is useful to everyone. Bye-bye.